Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Pinball FX2. So, last time we did Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy and boy did I not like that one. Let's try Star Wars Pinball Han Solo.
Han Solo,
Captain
of the Millennium Falcon.
I've liked Star Wars The Force Awakens. I've liked Star Wars Rebels. So the only one I really haven't liked is Might of the First Order. So it seems like they're doing a decent job on the Star Wars games so far, at least. The achievements here is hit the right secret compartment 3 times in a row for that achievement. Okay. Win the Battle of Yavin after the princess is freed. So the interesting question will be, what time period is this Han Solo game going to be based around? Is it between episode 6 and episode 7? Is it between 6 and 5? Is it during 6 and 5? Is it during 5 and 4? There's a lot of different options. Interesting. Looks like a bunch of bounty hunters are cycling in the background.
There's no mystical energy field that controls my destiny. It's all a lot of simple tricks and nonsense.
Well, there's one issue here I'm seeing right now. Han Solo doesn't look very much like Harrison Ford. There's the Millennium Falcon. So that looks like that could easily be done in the real world. There's a Death Star right there. Super jackpot going into a cave. Let's see, Han Solo's blaster is he gonna shoot first or not? Looks like there's a decent amount of missions here. Super jackpots, drop target, 1 bumper there, another flipper up there. A lot of the playfield's going to be hidden by the Millennium Falcon, unfortunately. There's a flying repair droid. They're called droid. There's a flipper way up there. Interesting. So there's a secret, I think, lock-in at the very top there into the Millennium Falcon. Ironically, I was putting together a Star Wars Lego set and put together that repair bot in Lego pieces just a couple hours ago. I swear I'm not that big of a fan of Star Wars, but somebody gave me a set, and there are a lot of Lego Star Wars sets, so I was doing that. Let's see, there's another Millennium Falcon ejection there. I think I've seen enough here.
This is suicide! There's nowhere to go!
That looks pretty good.
This feels like a really long table. There's a big painting right in that lower players
This is
field.
suicide! There's nowhere to go!
And we
That
have
looks pretty good.
C-3PO. Are we gonna run into R2-D2?
What looks pretty good?
Yeah, and this looks like the original trilogy.
The possibility of successfully navigating an Ascot field is
And
approximately
it knocks the bumpers
3,720
up.
to 1.
Never tell me
Making
the odds.
Interesting.
Don't move.
So I think they just did a bad job here at making it look like Harrison Ford. Even the picture up there, the picture on the table doesn't look close enough to Han Solo in my mind. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. Or it just looks kind of artistically stylized.
We would be honored if you would join us.
And he's just gonna
This is
sit here.
suicide! There's nowhere to go!
That looks pretty good.
Let's see, is there a skill shot here? I guess
What
there
looks
is.
pretty good?
Oh,
Goodness gracious me.
so we got some ramps. Locked the ball in there. What's that screen on the left there? On the right mean? Darn it. So having a pretty big
We would be honored.
empty space
would join
in the
us.
middle of the playfield, at the little playfield,
Oh, this is
leaves
suicide. There's nowhere to
opportunity.
go.
That looks pretty good.
Alright, just a little bit more than that.
Oh, this is suicide. There's nowhere
That's
to
a
go.
skill shot.
That looks pretty good.
Oh, this is
Another
suicide.
skill shot.
There's nowhere to go.
Apparently I locked the ball by doing that, so
Focus.
it almost feels like I could
Angle the
potentially
deflector shield while I charge up
start
the
the
main gun.
multi-ball
Multi-ball.
immediately. Interesting. It's sometimes nice to be able to start a multi-ball at the very beginning of your gameplay if you're skilled enough with the ability. Now I didn't enjoy it in Guardian of Galaxies where you started with a 5-ball multi-ball every time you started a new game,
Magnus save activated.
regardless of actually, I mean literally it was the first thing that happened. You couldn't even not get the multi-ball, and you could not lose the multi-ball. It just ran for a minute, and until that timer ran out there was nothing that could affect it. See, that seems like a huge gimme at the beginning of the game. Apparently hitting the spinner brings up the combo score. Wow, dropped the ball there, literally.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Release the information in the
Even
Zen
Chewie over there
Studios.
doesn't really look that good.
Sir, if you'll not be
So
meeting
that was
me,
a
I'll close
bad
down for a while.
game. Like, a real bad game. Barely a million points. But it is the first time I played this table, so it will raise me up to 22. Alright, so let's go ahead and restart. And I don't know what that carousel in the background does, but we'll find out real quick here as we read the table guide. So hand shot first. By shooting the spinner in the cantina, targets will move by the speed and direction of the rotation. If the target stops on the in the center of the shooting range, the center loop will be lit for fast draw. And if that's the case, when all the villain targets are wasted, Rydo will appear in the cantina for a hurry up mode. Interesting. Space Slug skill shot. If the ball is launched at proper strength, it will turn back into the jaws of the Space Slug for later use in the multi-ball mode. Shooting this captive ball during the single ball session will start the TIE Fighter attack mode. TIE Fighter attack mode. In this mode, one ball must be landed in the sinkhole, then the other must be in the upper saucer, or vice versa, depending on the shot was made first. Han Solo will take control of the quad lasing cannons, or the game will change to the first-person view in the gun port to shoot down TIE fighters. Interesting. Stormtrooper lock with a couple of right ram shots. The Stormtrooper ball will pop up in the lock mechanism in the back of the table. And locking 3 of these starts a unique multi-ball. The magnets of the table won't have any effect on the plastic balls. Interesting. He certainly has courage. This is the only way to get rid of the plastic balls, to get them into the sinkholes under the raised bumper. A magnet will catch the steel ball over the lowered bumper. Thus it will raise temporarily for a few seconds. Interesting. Secret compartment. Left ramp shoots the letter smuggle, and it gets me up into this upper playfield table that's hidden. Interesting. The hoist of the crane magnetizes the ball up, then it can be moved on through the X and Y axis. There's an ideal spot shown on the dot matrix display. That's where the best to drop the ball during the pressing launch. Castle run. As the 3 balls are locked, The Kessel Run multi-ball begins. Alright, hyperdrive malfunction. Hit those things, it seems. Let's see. Fastest hunk of junk. Hit after 3 balls are locked in maintenance hedge. Hit those things. Carbon freezer, shoot that. Alright. Escape from Java. Hit that. Ooh, interesting light effects there. Death Star. Spell Death Star with the drop down things and then get around there. I don't know exactly how you get around there, but submerge under the playfield, revealing access to the ball with the super laser, which will magnetize the ball when the ball hits it. Interesting. So it's like the Death Star itself will pick up the ball. Free the Princess. Battle of Yavin seems to be the same as that. Asteroid Field here. Probe, hurry up, hit all those things. General Solo, hit all those things. Magna Save, hit all the drop targets. Or the bumper targets, not drop targets. And then bonus multiplier is by Solo on the outlanes. Extra balls, there can be lit different ways. Okay, I think I've got enough of this to continue playing now.
Oh, this is suicide. There's nowhere to go.
That looks pretty good.
What looks pretty good?
There we go. So it's interesting to have a flipper right at the top right of the
Magna save
field.
activated.
That seems
Good.
like something you won't use that much of. But cool nonetheless. Keep the ball going and play. See, there's another flipper there. And see, he did just shoot first there.
Bulky religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side.
And you really cannot hit those Death Star drop targets except for right there with that flipper on the top left or middle left. Man, I am getting worse and worse reaction time. Like really, really bad. Come on.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Oh, this is suicide. There's nowhere to
So
go.
that was
pretty
a
good.
million. The question is this one of these tables where you don't get much more than a million or two?
Oh, this is suicide. There's nowhere to go.
That looks
Sir,
pretty
it's
good.
quite possible this
There we
asteroid
go.
is not entirely stable. Oh, this is suicide. There's nowhere to go.
And see,
You
that
do
just
have your
knocks the
moments.
ball out there.
Not many of them, but you do have them.
Don't move.
So I assume this is like a double jackpot when you lock 2 of the balls there. Like a super, not double jackpot, a super skill shot if you do it twice in a row. So, being a little bit a longer table, it doesn't feel great here. It's not like the Force Awakens that was super wide and very varied and interesting. But so far I haven't seen anything I hated. And I didn't hate it in the first 10 minutes like Guardians of the Galaxy, definitely. Man, reaction time. Slower and slower. I would say right now it feels like it might have some potential. I just need to kind of get warmed up to this table and find out if it has any quirks that might prove themselves annoying. I would say probably having the third bumper down is going to prove to be slightly a detriment.
This is suicide. There's nowhere to go.
That looks pretty good.
There we go. Let's see, as long as you overshoot this, I mean, undershoot it.
Oh, this is suicide. There's nowhere to go.
That looks pretty good.
What looks pretty good?
You get another chance. Man. Boy, am I dropping the ball there.
Focus.
What it might prove is that all the good shots might be a little bit difficult here.
Field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
It doesn't feel like you start any missions very easily. We're doing a lot of standard pinball here without activating anything, or it doesn't look like we're really spelling anything. The gameplay seems a little slow too. I think by being a little bit longer, more time, a few crucial seconds are being spent going back and forth from the front and back.
At least the information in R2 is still
So if
intact.
you'll not be needing me, I'll close down for a while.
I really wish the game would just remember my initials. It makes no sense that that's not the case.
Oh, this is suicide. There's nowhere to go.
That looks pretty good.
What looks pretty good?
See, is that Princess Leia that says what's pretty good? I haven't heard Luke say anything. And Chewbacca, Chewie,
Good.
has grunted once, but maybe he should grunt a couple more times. And we're hearing R2-D2 do his beeping and C-3PO do his talking. See, that was a sneak in. See,
Possibility of successfully
and
navigating the
as
asteroid
far as
field is
Heart and
approximately
Solo
3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
is concerned, he is all about his Millennium Falcon. His blaster is not that interesting, and his outfit's not that interesting. His personality, his friends, his dialogue lines are interesting, but it's mostly about the Millennium Falcon. Even for him, it's mostly about the Millennium Falcon. Man.
Magna save activated. Score multiplier is getting up there. Missed it again. I'm having trouble figuring out how much time there is between when the ball lands in that pit at the very top and when it releases. See, I'm just hitting this drop down target a lot, and it's not making any sounds or giving me any feedback like that. It's even giving me points for it. I'm sure it is, but it's just a lot of quiet gameplay going on here. Yeah, why is this not activating something? I mean, we have all those missions above the picture there,
This is suicide.
but
There's
they
nowhere
look
to
like
go.
missions,
That looks pretty good.
and yet it's not
nicely.
starting.
Oh, this this is suicide. There's nowhere to go.
So what am I doing wrong? Yeah, so I kind of am having to downgrade my opinion of those tables. Right now it feels like a fine table to play where nothing really ever happens. Like, I don't feel like I'm doing the actions to lock a multi-ball. I don't think I'm doing the actions to start a mission. I don't feel like I'm doing the actions to accomplish anything. Spelling the Death Star back there is a really difficult task, obviously. And here we're just getting the cantina music over and over again, which is going to get annoying after about 40 minutes of listening to that.
He certainly has courage.
What good will it do us if he gets himself killed?
So that we finally lock one ball.
Folky religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side.
Come on. So what did I do that triggered that ball to lock? It's just a disconnect here between why something happened and how can I cause it to happen again.
Can't you hold that thing still?
Let's see, finally activated something, and it goes to this cutscene, and now he's just walking over here to bring up that bumper. And see, I don't like pauses in gameplay.
Not really interested in your opinion, 3PO.
So we got this top shield of it.
I got out and pushed.
It might.
So there's this whole talk of a plastic balls, and I'd really like to see that. That'd be an interesting thing. I've never seen that in a pinball game before. That something just completely that would, I assume, have slightly different weight to it and not be reflective and definitely not work with MagnaSave. But I bet I never can activate it.
If you would join us.
Oh, this is
I got up to
suicide.
4
There's
million.
nowhere to go.
That looks pretty good.
What looks pretty good?
That's an annoying audio choice on the skill shot, but at least it's not rude like half of these tables that just say downright mean things, even if they are things that the characters from the license would say. I don't want to hear that when I'm playing pinball, because you may play pinball for hours and hours at a time, and it's grating, annoying. So we've got, it seems like every lane is lit. Seems like anywhere I go is good. But
So the possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
just hitting all these ramps.
He certainly has courage.
What good will it do us if he gets himself killed?
So ball 2 locked. Those are the plastic courage balls. Trying to get it so it lands in that sneak in that's in between there, but not having a lot of luck with it. Not doing very well at all here. And see, if you're not careful with that top left flipper, you could knock the ball right down in a path to end up right going down the center and losing the ball to the gutter. Kind of like that almost. In the gutter.
Wait,
Do we
so
have
you have these
multiplayer?
compartments?
Use them for smuggling.
Well,
Laugh it
I
up.
dropped the ball there. I was trying to figure out the controls. The instructions never told me the controls there.
At least the information in R2 is
So if
still
you're not
intact.
needing me, I'll close down for a while.
And so we're up to a massive 5 million. Ridiculous,
Oh, this is
ridiculously small
suicide.
amount
There's
of
nowhere to go.
That looks pretty
thing.
good.
What am I missing here? And see, because of the way their wizard score and
Oh,
their
this
What
is
looks pretty
suicide.
good?
There's
their
nowhere to go.
super score works, they kind of need all their tables to be potentially at least somewhat close to the amount of points they give for each table.
Possibility of
This is
successfully
nowhere
navigating the
close.
Asphalt field is approximately 3,720
Unless I'm just
to 1.
missing
Never tell me the odds.
but I don't know how I could be missing that much. I read the instructions, I read the table guide. I'm seeing a bunch of flashing things. I'm hitting a bunch of things.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Oh, this is suicide. There's
Let's
nowhere
see,
to go.
and that ball gave me 262,000, and I don't know what I did to even deserve that much.
Oh, this is suicide. There's nowhere to go.
And I locked 3 balls for a multi-ball there and still didn't get a multi-ball. That's strange. I didn't get a quick multi-ball there either. Over there on the left, and I thought I would have. I guess some of these lanes just have like really long words you have to spell. Like courage is a 5-letter spelling word, so you would have to go up the lane 5 times. And actually you have to do it 3 times, so wouldn't that mean 15 times? Certainly would explain why nothing's happening. There's ridiculous requirements to make anything happen. And see, that's weird because at least on the face of it, there's nothing wrong with this table. It would be a simple adjustment to have them spell out something besides courage for like,
Your
or
religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side.
like just have it spell out Han.
Practice save activated.
H-A-N. There you would only have to go up 3 times. Or solo. 4 words. Instead of courage, which is 6 times. Yeah, I think maybe 5 times. I can't think and spell and play pinball at the same time. This feels like the digital equivalent of shuffling your feet. I'm just like, alright, this is fine, but when does the action start? And Han Solo is a man of action, if I may be so bold as to say I know Han Solo. I would say he's a man of action, and he deserves a pinball table that befits being a man of action. And that's not what we're getting here. We're getting something very slow here. If this was the Jabba the Hutt table,
what good will it do us if he gets himself killed?
Because Jabba is theoretically a really slow-moving creature that's more contemplative. I can't say that word. Thinks more. Then yeah, that would work. For a table like this. And then you just have to change out the Millennium Falcon for the Slave 1, I believe is the name of the ship Jabba the Hutt was on. Change a few other things.
Navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
The never tell me the odds gag is happening too often. That did something. Maybe this is one of these games where you have to hit one ramp and then hit the next thing really fast to trigger anything. That might be it. Oh, this music is starting to get annoying at this point. No good. This music was annoying even in the movies. Are there other elements of the Han Solo character you'd want in this game that's missing?
I'm not really interested in your opinion, 3PO.
Not really. It doesn't seem like it's missing anything like blatantly obvious.
Watch this.
Would it help if I got out and pushed?
It might.
See, and I think I may have succeeded in that mission. Or I may have failed. I don't even know. I literally don't know if I just succeeded or failed. It sounded the same way when I know I failed before. But it didn't go down the gutter in the middle, it seemed to go down a different gutter.
Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your
And
side.
see, the Han Solo shot first thing I think should probably happen a little bit more often, considering there's still a lot of those guys going around.
Compartments.
You use them for smuggling. Laugh it up,
I
fuzzball.
still have no idea what I'm doing there. Did the Death Star disappear? Yeah, it does. It goes down for a little bit when the Millennium Falcon spins. Interesting. That seems like an unnecessary thing to have, and you could have just had the Death Star slightly lower than the Millennium Falcon. Oh well, I suppose since this isn't based on any real pinball machine, it doesn't matter if they animate things. There we go. Finally got that, and it did nothing again. Oh, wow. I am using the phrase did nothing like every 30 seconds here. That did nothing, that did nothing, that did nothing, that did nothing. There's... I don't know. What were they thinking here? It's a good table design with like terrible implementation of the missions or something. It's like somebody sketched out where all the pieces were gonna go, and then it was somebody else's job to make sure there was scoring and events tied to where those pieces were. And that person just didn't do their job at all.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Now, I don't know if it really is
There's nowhere to go.
as small a
That looks pretty
team
good.
of makers of these pinball tables as 2 people, but maybe a team dropped the ball. There you go.
Oh, this is suicide. There's nowhere to go.
That looks pretty good.
There we go.
The cave is collapsing.
This is no cave.
And see that flipper at the top there, which is actually backwards, by the way. I think it's only good for moving the ball to the other side. So it gives you that opportunity if you want it to end up on the left instead of the right, which is kind of cool. A little bit more control. No, but it barely even moves it to the left. I would prefer if there was a loop around that would have fed all the way to the left flipper from that.
We would be honored if you would join us.
6
You
million.
needn't worry about your
New high
reward.
score.
If score is all that you love, then that's what you'll receive.
And what's funny is that the local high score will still probably be 10 million for number 1 on the
Oh,
leaderboards.
this is suicide. There's nowhere to go.
That looks pretty good.
What looks pretty good?
Oops.
Goodness gracious me.
And so the spinning blasters on the top don't seem to mean anything. And I haven't hit this this target on the bumper for the carbonite because that's a really hard shot to even attempt.
Save activated.
It's gonna turn out bad if I try to make the shot. Watch. Yeah. That wasn't particularly even that bad of an outcome. But you've got to get it right on almost the tip here of it to get that sharp of an angle. Could sit you all day doing something like that. Score times 6. I'm not opposed to a score multiplier just being a spinner. There's certainly worse ways to implement a score multiplier. Darn it. So score multiplier though,
Oh, this is suicide.
but I only got
There's
like
nowhere to go.
10,000
That looks pretty good.
10,000
looks pretty
points
good?
in the entire play.
for that ball. And see, this feels like one of those old school pinball games that gave you 1 point or 5 points for things you hit.
Focus.
So you don't end up having a very high score. One of the contributing factors to old pinball games giving you a lower score is that they had to have dials that would spin for your score, no dot matrix screens. So it would literally cost them more money to give you more points because they'd have to put another motor, another dial in there, or at least a little bit more circuitry controlling the one motor that spun the dials.
Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side.
Come on. It's kind of funny that Han Solo is criticizing the religion of Jediism and Sithism, I suppose, if that's even the right terms, considering they literally have the ability to prove at least some of their beliefs are true. They can move things with their minds, where normal people in that universe cannot. That's some pretty good evidence. Of course, then you get into the
Wait, so
nightmare
you
of
had these compartments.
the midi-chlorians. Okay.
No! This one
I
goes
missed
there.
it.
That one goes there, right? Yeah, that'll do nicely.
Oh, this is suicide. There's nowhere to go.
You do have your moments. Not many of them, but you do have them.
He certainly has courage.
Of course,
What will it do if
everybody
he gets himself
hated the
killed?
midi-chlorian idea being added because it was changing the classic way of going there. And it wasn't particularly like it was some great reveal that shifted your current beliefs of how the Star Wars universe works. It was just kind of a lame explanation of how it works. If George Lucas had ever been bold and decided to tell a tale in Star Wars and turn out that all Jedis and Siths were actually just magicians doing tricks to gain power throughout the universe, that would be a pretty bold thing to do, but then it would also still be really away from the sci-fi fantasy tale that they were telling. It devalues something that they spent effort to make valuable.
So the possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid
The
field is
whole
approximately
training and learning to
3,720 to
use the
1.
Force
Never tell
for
me the
Luke
odds.
was a major part of the original series, and devaluing the Force makes no sense. Instead, what they should do is make the Force even more valuable, and that's what they did in the video game series The Force Unleashed, which I would like to play at some point and cover that. I played it once on Xbox, and I'd like to play it on PC and see how I can, if maybe I can get the graphics to run a little bit better and look a little bit better. Or just see how it runs on the PC version. A lot of old games may run better on PC, but may also run way worse on PC. It is a dangerous bag, so look at the reviews. I would highly recommend. Even if it is a game you loved in your heyday, the PC version may be the wrong version to play. Or maybe the newest version of Windows decides that it doesn't want to let that software work anymore. That happens on a rare occasion
So I'm starting to talk about other things because nothing's happening, and I'm tired of repeating myself here. It's just a whole ball of fluff.
Boy, it's lucky you had these compartments.
Use them for smuggling.
So
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm trying to drop it there, and it's not working very well. I think that ramp on the left is a little too
So the
difficult.
possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
If the ramp on the far left was a little bit easier to hit, that would be nice. So we're spelling probe here. I guess I haven't been going up that ramp. That's another difficult one. Might explain a lot if there's a couple things I've just not been able to hit at all. Oh, darn it, darn it.
We would be honored if you would join us.
So, 46 minutes in, and I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking to myself, you know
That
what?
looks pretty good.
I'm ready to be
What looks
done.
pretty good?
There are, as
The
it
possibility of
is true
successfully
for
navigating an
most
asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
of these tables, there's a lot of elements that I'm not gonna ever probably activate, and there are definitely elements here that I'm probably not gonna activate. So I think I've seen as much as I can probably see already, and from what I have seen, it's meh, just kind of right in the middle. I think we can do better. Really. If I was bored of all the other tables and certainly didn't want to play any of the bad tables, which we found
Certainly has
quite
courage.
a lot
What good
that
will
we
it do us if
haven't
he gets
liked.
himself killed?
Or locked.
I might come back to this for 30 minutes as just a
Chewie,
interesting
can't you hold that
thing
thing still?
to do, but I wouldn't ever like wake up one day and say I want to play the Han Solo pinball table for another hour.
You needn't worry about your reward.
So if you're not
If
been
score
reading
is all
me,
that you
upload
love,
stuff for a
then
while.
that's what you'll receive.
So that wasn't our new high score.
Oh, this is suicide. There's nowhere to go.
That looks pretty good.
There's just... And see, this might be just an example
Oh, this
of
is
Looks pretty
suicide.
good.
There's nowhere
what
to go.
a newer generation versus an older generation of pinball fans expects. I may very well just feel like nothing's happening because it's not... It's more like an old school pinball machine that doesn't have flashing lights and sound effects going off all the time. However, it does have the cantina music going off all the time, which still is weird that music is playing on these tables. That's not typical to my knowledge of pinball games. And that if they gave 10 times as much score for every single thing, if they had more flashing lights, if they had more sound effects, if it just felt more rewarding to play, that might go a pretty good distance to make me like this table. But at the core of it,
Honored if you
it
would
seems
join
like
us.
there's a ton of missions or hurry-ups or
This
something
is suicide.
that I could
There's
light
nowhere to
up.
go.
That looks pretty good.
And
What
I
looks
haven't
pretty
gotten
good?
any of them. And that's seems really strange. I kind of have to blame the table. I can't think to myself and say, well, maybe I'm just such an awful player on this table that I'm not activating anything. I've certainly activated a lot of other missions on a lot of other tables. So this is just peculiar. Very, very peculiar. I'm just sitting here confused. Unlike Guardians of the Galaxy, which was a pinball table that was obnoxious
That looks pretty good.
about having too many balls on the table and too
What
many
looks
things
pretty good?
happening and the levels being too easy to start. This has gone the exact opposite direction. There's too little of everything. Way too little. I'm repeating myself. Maybe I should just sit here in silence. Maybe I'm really bad at this center lane here. Because that's blinking. And I haven't hit that too many times, but I think that's the shoot first lane. Yeah, so I shoot first.
Bulky religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side.
We would be honored if you would join us.
I think they're making too much for the shoot first carousel.
You needn't worry
and
about
the
your reward.
backboard.
If score is all that you love, then that's what
So if
you'll
you'll not be
receive.
leaving me, I'll close down for a while.
The thing there that strikes me is you could have had a carousel of drop-down targets like these guys, and it could have been on the field, always going in a circle somewhere near the back there,
No mystical in.
and
This
you
is
could have
suicide. There's
hit
nowhere
it with
to
the
go.
ball,
That
and
looks
then
pretty good.
with a lot less
What looks
struggle,
pretty good?
you could have cycled through all those people. I guess there probably is something to be said about doing the shot first lane when it's lit.
Excuse me, sir. Might I inquire what's going on?
I never got far enough into that. It's been almost an hour here. This is the last game. And I wonder, is that the best
This is
scene
suicide. There's nowhere to go.
for Han
That looks
Solo
pretty good.
when he's shooting the blaster at
Yeah, that'll do
Darth
nicely.
Vader? Is that the best scene when you lose a ball?
This is
Or is
suicide. There's nowhere to go.
there something more?
You do have your moments. Not many of them, but you do have them.
Let's see. I would have gone with the Frozen and Carbonite scene. Because that's where he does the his most famous line, where he goes, Princess Leia goes, "I love you," and he goes, "I know." See, that would be, I think, the right time to do that line. And it does. Is that line even in this table? Maybe. But if it is, I never saw it. And the upper playfield here is boring. It doesn't. It's hard to activate, and it doesn't work the way I would like it to work half the time. Didn't really work the other half of the time either. There's a lot of points here where they want you to hit it back with the flipper to do kind of this three-way figure 8 movement. Like they want, when the ball drops out there, they want you to take that ramp. And the Death Star things, we never lit that up. So that whole magnetic piece is never gonna get to see that working. They could have had the Millennium Falcon spinning at all times. And in the back, and maybe that would have done something. I would have probably made the Millennium Falcon a little bit smaller and maybe under the table. I have a Lego mini Millennium Falcon. It's pretty cool. But again, I'm not that big of a Lego fan. Star Wars fan.
I'm not really interested in
I'm
your
a big
opinion,
Lego
3PO.
fan, but Star Wars fan.
Watch this.
Watch what?
And so
Would it help if I got out and pushed?
It might.
So I figured I'd get
The
one
possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is
Yeah.
approximately 3,720
that
to 1.
represented Star
Never
Wars,
tell
and
me
I
the
chose the
odds.
Millennium Falcon. There's a Death Star playset, but it's very expensive. It's $500 for the Death Star playset, and it doesn't even look as good as it should for $500. But not really interested in any of the other sets, and Lego is always making new sets of Star Wars. That license has made them a lot of money, and now that Disney owns
Boy, it's lucky you had these compartments.
Use them for smuggling.
like now that
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
oh, I just realized that when you drop the ball there, you have to drop it through the holes. Didn't even know what I was looking
Sir,
at.
if I may venture an opinion.
I'm not really interested in your opinion, 3PO.
So that's why there's
Watch
this
this.
top layer, and you have to look through it.
Would it help if I got out and pushed?
It might.
Yeah, so now that Disney owns Star Wars, they've expanded their licensing deal to start
This
doing
is suicide.
Disney
There's
Lego
nowhere to go.
things,
That looks pretty good.
which is
What
interesting.
looks pretty good?
Certainly. So we're just waiting for this ball to drain out. Maybe I can get to shoot first. No, see, I can't get up that lane with the left flipper. Because anytime I hit the left flipper, the other upper left flipper is in the way. Even if I tapped it, it probably wouldn't work. Yeah, the best is I can get on the lane slightly in the mid, directly in the middle, actually. There we go. About to lose the ball. Here we go. Just keep on trying. So you can kind of see this isn't a horrible table. It's not like I'm willing just to finish the game here and lose. I still would prefer to have a high score if we can get a high score, but I'm at, I think, 2 million right now, and I need to get above 6 million to beat my high score. incredibly low scoring compared to every other table.
Oh, they've
there's the
encased it in
carbonite.
carbonite. It should be quite well protected. Oh, this is
Cake is
suicide.
collapsing.
There's nowhere to
This
go.
is no cave.
Darn it. So I locked like one carbonite
We
ball
would be
there.
honored if you would join us.
At least the information in R2 is still intact.
Sir, if you'll not be needing me, I'll close down for a while.
So, not a huge disappointment, but definitely a disappointment. Han Solo deserves better than this table. The table's fine, maybe a little tall, with the Death Star being drops, like, to repeat myself, the Death Star drop down targets a little bit in the wrong place and hard to hit. But the scoring, the audio feedback, the fact that there seems to be no missions at all. What were the achievements on that? Like, were we anywhere close? Hit the right secret compartment 3 times in a row. Don't even know what that is. Win the Battle of Yavin after the princess is freed. Like, don't have a clue. No clue at all. Let's look at the leaderboards here. So, 5 billion, 4 billion, 3 billion, 3 billion. What in the world did they do to get that high of a score? I must be really bad at this. Either that or these are all cheaters. I don't even know how you'd get a billion. When I'm getting 6 million, even 100 times better than what I was playing would only get you to 500 million. 1,000 times better than what I did, according to me. That seems unbelievable. Super scores all the same. Pinball Wizards all the same. I keep saying that all. I don't know why I even bother clicking on Challenge and Pinball King and all that. Local high score though. Even the game here is admitting that the high scores are more difficult to get here because the top one that was number 1 was only 5 million, where it's been 10 million for every other table. That goes to show something, definitely. And then I just kind of want to go back into the thing though.
Han Solo.
Let's
I'm
see.
captain of the Millennium Falcon.
If I come in here, and I'm not going to play again, but I want to go back and look at the table description. Because I swear I didn't activate any of those things that were described in the table description. I should have, like, table guide. Han shot first. We did do that. Sure. Space Slug skill shot. We did do that. TIE Fighter attack mode. Never did that. Stormtrooper lock. Well, we locked 2 of those a couple times. This we never did. This we tried, but failed at multiple times because I couldn't get the control right. Kessel Run we never did. Hyperdrive malfunction. We never succeeded at that, but we did activate it. Fastest hunk of junk? I don't think so. Carbon freezer, we got 1 of those. Let's see. With the help of the device, a multiple mode can be started, which tries. We barely made any progress there. This mode, never saw it. Never got that to happen. Like, those drop down targets were supposed to fall down, and then the Death Star there was supposed to magnetize and grab the ball and put it up that ramp. Free the Princess, never did that. Battle Yavin, never did that. Asteroid Field. We may have done that a couple times. Probe Hurry Up, never did that. General Solo, never did that. Magnus Save we may have gotten once or twice. Bonus multipliers we probably got. And extra balls. So there are no missions at all. That's the thing. It feels just like a half-finished or less than half-finished table. If they put more polish into that would have been a fine table, but with no missions, with nothing happening, it's just blah. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, this is the worst way to review a game, to call it blah, but oh my goodness, wow. Well, next time we're gonna do the Wild West Rampage, which is a non-licensed product as best as I can figure, and I think it's part of season 2 of the core things, and maybe even more than that. Like, it's hard to tell, but we're just gonna go down all these individual licensed ones as we cycle through this, and I guess then after that we'll do Deadpool, and maybe Deadpool will save us, because I have not liked any of the Marvel ones up to this point, really. At the very least on the Star Wars, I've liked 2 out of 4 tables, and I don't actually hate the Han Solo one, it's just boring. And I guess Portal and The Walking Dead were alright. Anywho, I guess that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.